I'm in California. My name is Kiana Sage. I guide people to peace. I do that through the process of energy psychology. This is the alignment of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies to build inner congruence within. It is about patterns, and all patterns need to be aligned to the natural laws. And that means sometimes we have to adjust and change, and I help people do that through my process called energy psychology. So just going live here today on this Sunday, gonna break free from the trauma series that I have been doing. Hey, Matt. Hello, good to see you. Let me tell you, Matt, I am living on the coast. Hey, Michelle. I live like less than a mile from the ocean, and there is no moisture in the air. Zero moisture in the air. Good to see you too. You know, if you've been in California, that is absolutely crazy. So welcome to 2025. Things are only going to get crazier. So I thought I would give a top 10 list of, how to build inner strength, how and what you can do to build inner strength. Hey, Jono, good to see you. Hello. I am safe. Right now, we're about an hour away from the fires. The winds had slowed down the last couple days, and now they've kicked back up today. So it is gusty, not nearly as gusty as it was when the fires kicked in. However, the dryness, I have lived in California my entire life. I've traveled all around the world. I have never experienced the depth of dry skin that I have experienced in the last week and a half. I mean, my face is almost like peeled off completely. So my goal today, not only to give you the top 10, is to drink. I'm going to drink all of this water during this top 10. I'm not getting off of this live until all the water is gone, because as hydrated as I stay, the dryness is brutal. Yeah, stay hydrated. Hello, XYZ. Good to see you. We're just waiting for people to join in here. Michelle says I haven't. What did you say, Michelle? I missed it. I haven't what? Oh, you're having rain. I'm telling you, the weather modification is a thing. So they've been doing what they call seeding, weather seeding or something here. And they announced it officially this last December, although we had noticed that we're getting more rains than normal in California. But do you know that they stopped all of the rains, or cloud seeding is what they were calling it. They stopped all of that. We have not gotten hardly any rain. It's crazy. It is crazy. But, I'm not here to talk about crazy stuff. Only sometimes, because we're talking about building inner strength, okay? So that's what this video is going to be all about. So if you are interested in building inner strength, this video is going to be a top 10 list of things that you can do. Now, you may not like all of the things, but even if you did 10% of the things that I'm suggesting in this top 10 list, you're going to be stronger and more resilient than you ever could be. Now, I'm taking a time out from the trauma series because trauma is intense. And I thought the last one I did was about environmental impacts. And we're definitely having environmental traumas, right? So we're seeing traumas on TV play out and so forth. And I thought, well, I could talk about trauma a lot, but what's more important is that the trauma or the building inner strength. They're both important for awareness, but building inner strength, you can heal super fast. But is it fast enough? Well, it depends on how committed you are. Like, there are some people that are so committed, and those are people who have usually been attacked either psychically or directly with musicians, black musicians, or something like that, those people tend to be a lot more committed than those people who have just kind of not really acknowledged that they've interacted with black magic at all. But if you've dealt with any kind of harsh demonic energies, inner strength is what is going to give you what's called the armor of God. So let me just do an intro real quick. My name is Kiana Sage. I guide people to peace. I do this every day through a process called energy psychology. I teach my clients how to connect deeply and create a direct relationship with God. And we often have to do that by releasing old patterns, okay? You cannot create new patterns when you're running old patterns at the same time. There's an overlay. So we need to clear up some of those overlays so we can free up ourselves. See, and as soon as I talked about God, a lot of people jumped off, but that's okay. People are not interested in that, but I am. So here I am. I'm here to speak about the natural laws. Why do I talk about the natural laws? The natural laws are what dictates all energy processes, all energy patterns, all energetic flow. If we are not in alignment within, it's challenging to connect directly with the natural laws or even understand that there's a complexity operating underneath all the BS, okay? So today I'm talking about 10 things that you can do to build inner strength. So I'm just going to ask a question in the poll before I get started. What should I ask? Here we go. I'm going to go silent for a second. Okay. You should be able to hear me now. Hey, Shane. Hello. Good to see you. Matt, so good to see you. Oh, Matt's giving Bible verses. You know what? I'm going to just give my disclaimer here. I honor and respect that you guys have beliefs that are different than mine. This is not a religious channel in any way, shape, or form. Why? Religion is man-made. Energy is God-made, okay? So really make the distinctions. I understand we have very strong beliefs in things that we have read, been taught, conditioned, but I am not aligning with those, okay? I'm aligning directly with God and the frequency of energy that is not of man-made, is of God. And that is a frequency of creation, a frequency of God, a frequency of source energy. So whatever language you prefer, that's great. Do I believe in consciousness? Absolutely. Do I believe in Christ? Heck yeah. But I don't believe in the Bible. Now, I think that there are many truths in the Bible, but more lies. So I don't subscribe to them. That's me. You can have your own beliefs, but I don't want this to be a religious channel in any way. So when you talk about God, that's not talking about religion. That's talking about truth. So people need to understand that God is not a religion. God is a consciousness. God, consciousness. Hey, Oliver, welcome. Okay, thanks, Matt, because I respect you, and I know we all have beliefs, and I believe in Christ. I believe in consciousness. I believe in God consciousness. I believe that we all have our own beliefs, and I respect that, and you're going to love this list, Matt. So, okay, I'm going to start with number 10, y'all. This is a top 10 list of, before I 10, on the top 10 list on how to create inner strength. Okay, number 10, don't make decisions based on assumptions. That's number 10. Do not make your, hi, Nicole, your decisions based on assumptions. How many people said, well, I assume that, or I thought that. So what if we just made decisions based on our heart, based on our inner truth? That it wasn't based on assuming that, because they, let's just use religion, just because they say they're Christian, does that mean they're in integrity? Just because they follow a religion and they put that out, does that mean that they're in integrity? That would be an assumption, okay? Let's not make assumptions, because we all know that there are people that have great intentions and that has paved the way to hell, okay? I read that earlier today and I thought, oh my God, isn't that true? So many times people have good intentions, but it doesn't matter what your intention is if there's no integrity behind it. So we want to make our decisions based on what? Based on our heart. Oh my gosh. And if we didn't make assumptions and believe, because I know I've been burned by what people call themselves as Christians, and they were the most out of integrity people I've ever met. And then I've had experiences with people who follow this religion called LDS, and the Mormon religion, which has also been called a cult. I don't really know. It's none of my business. All I know is behavior is what I follow. If they have incongruent behaviors, I'm watching for it. And I once had an intern that literally took my testimonials off of my website and made them her own. And every day she talked about her religion, every day. So red flag, you don't preach that's why I have a trouble with the Bible verses and all that stuff. I don't have trouble with it. I'm just aware of it. That when people are preaching to me, that's telling me they're incongruent. Okay? So that's not an assumption. I'm just looking at behavior, not what they're telling me, what they're behaving. You don't tell me what you believe, you show me. You show me by your actions, you show me by your behavior. Okay? Oh my gosh, Matt. It was crazy. I couldn't believe she did that. And of course, this is why I trained myself to not be in shock, because people will do shocking behaviors, as we see in our medias. People are doing things that are irrational and out of their mind, based on something that I don't want to talk about on here, because every time I do, my numbers go down. But it's based on mind control, okay? And people don't think they're mind controlled because they think that they're in their ego, and their ego says, I can't be mind controlled. And I get it. We don't think that, but it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to anybody who's on this planet. So if you are not in your heart, you will easily be manipulated. Okay, so number 10 is don't make decisions based on assumptions. Okay, number 9. We want to create energetic balance, okay? That we do that through our thoughts, behaviors, and actions. So number 10 and number 9, they kind of go together. So you're going to see this is a layering process. So physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment comes through thoughts, behaviors, and actions. That's why you want to be aware. What do you do with your awareness? You make conscious actions, because it shifts your behaviors. It all aligns, you folks. But if we just stick with awarenesses, if we just stick with aha moments, we will be amiss. We will be asleep at the wheel, if you will. Hi, John. Good to see you here. Matt is saying mind control is very real. How is it real, Matt? How is it real? It's happening in the non-physical. It's happening how is that real? Because people do not understand how energy works. That is the truth. If and when any one of you all decide to have a session with me, because it's not mandatory, you don't have to, it's just whatever you feel, you will see in the first session how the mind will shift immediately when you are connected to consciousness. Not my consciousness, your own consciousness, your own soul. But there are some of you who are so disconnected from your soul, and you're not what's called single soul occupancy. So if you do not have single soul occupancy, you will be struggling. It will take you so long to get to what you think is peace. And I think Jono said you sat into the nature. And I wonder, are you single soul occupied? And if you get irritated by this question, that is an indication that there might be some truth there. I don't know. I don't know you. You're not my client. I'm just saying, when we struggle with things intensely, there's often some nefarious energies that are directing how we are seeing, sensing, and feeling, and it will take us longer to get aligned. I had a client, sometimes our sessions are just making sure we're clearing out so they can realign to their soul. So, okay, Nicole, did I miss a question? I'm so sorry. I was just chatting. I was going to go through, but maybe today I will chat and do my top 10. Maybe I could do that. I'm so sorry, Nicole. Good to see you. We'll see you next time. Jono says, I feel that I've made some irrational decision, mind controlled through subconscious. That could be, but we must take full responsibility for all of our actions, Jono. So single soul occupancy has fourth and fifth and sixth dimension. It goes all the way up. Good to see you, Nicole. Thank you. Have a great day. Come back and get the rest of the 8 because it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Hi, Zoya. Love you, Zoya. Happy New Year. So good to see you. This is a good list, y'all. You're not going to want to miss it. So we want to create energetic balance, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual balance, because that is demonstrated through our thoughts, our actions, and behaviors. So it's all linked, okay? So number 10, don't make assumptions. Don't make decisions based on assumptions. And number 9 is thoughts, behaviors, and actions. That is how we create consciousness. Okay, number 8 on the top 10 list on how to increase inner strength. And as I said, I'm going to finish all my water, so I'm going to take a sip. Let me tell you, I have got to get more hydrated. I never have a hydration problem, but these temperatures, man, they're brutal. Okay, number 8 is to compassionately witness. Now that could be very, hey, Raw One, good to see you. Hello, Lokesh. Hello, hello. I miss people. Okay, I'm going to go back. I love seeing you guys. You're so sweet. Even with good integrity, intentions can have bad timing. Well, hang on there, Jono. I'm going to get to timing here. John, good to see you. Okay, when you don't have single soul occupancy, and that goes through all the dimensions, all of the dimensions, it makes it challenging to connect to the heart. That's why inner strength is so important. That's why I'm doing this video. So number 8 is we must compassionately witness. If we want to build inner strength, we must be able to see others through the state of being called compassion. Compassion is not sympathy. Compassion is not empathy. It's compassion. It's an aspect of expressing through the heart, okay? It's super simple. We don't have any judgment. We have all heartfelt compassion for what we're seeing and experiencing. And we have compassion for ourselves. We have compassion for others. Resilience building is a huge part of the process. Yes, but how is resilience built, Matt? That's what I'm talking about today. I'm getting to the root of it today. We build it through steps that are congruent. What are the steps to congruency? What are the steps to building inner strength? Compassionate witnessing, number 8, okay? Number 7, this is one that a lot of people struggle with, but it's key, and this is so important. So this goes beyond anything that you will read. This goes beyond anything that you will think, but it's when you embody love. Listen to me, folks. This means embodiment. And if you don't know what embodiment is, go look it up, go research it, go figure out, how do I embody love? You embody love through every cell. That changes how you communicate cellularly, through all your bodies, through in between your bodies, through your spirit, you embody love. And when you have fully embodied love, guess what you're going to have? A connection and knowing of God, pure and true. Embodiment of love is going to equal knowing of God. God is love, love is God, they're the same. Okay? So embody love. Okay? That's number 7. Number 6. It's one that I've done here on the channel, not too popular, and it shows. So just go look at how many people have watched whatever videos, and you're going to see that is a topic that needs to be read or heard. So this is embodying, I'm still on number 7. Number 6 of ways that you can increase inner strength is have open discussions about topics that are uncomfortable and that may have been labeled as unapproved or conspiratorial or so let's talk about what are those. Politics, divide and conquer. Religion, divide and conquer. Medical, confusion. So things that are conspiratorial, politics, environmental stuff, so you need to be willing to have open discussions. The only way that we're going to grow and expand in consciousness is if we're willing to challenge our own ideas and beliefs. Now, there are people that will say, hey, Kiana, that's a conspiracy. I want you all to know and research where the term conspiracy came from, why conspiracy has been used to weaponize our language against people that are bringing truths to lies. That's what people need to understand. It's so crazy, but that's our world we're living in. We're living in a crazy world where people are running what's called reversal energy. Okay, let me see. What are you saying, Matt? Gratitude and journaling, I find, helps a lot. Ooh, you are jumping ahead there, Matt. You're jumping ahead. So you're going to want to see which one that one is. It's true. Gratitude and journaling can be helpful. Can you be grateful for everything? Yes, Raw One, you know. Raw One says the CIA invented it. I didn't say it. Raw One said it. I agree with you. It was invented to create diversion. It was invented to create separation. And do you know how many people use that terminology? I know. My family members have used it against me. And they'll say, well, that's a conspiracy. It's not my problem that you're uncomfortable with the truth. Like, there are some politicians, and I don't know, are you guys following? I don't want to get political, but are you all following what's going on with the French politician? Now, I have brought this up to my sister-in-law and my husband, and they say, oh, it doesn't affect me. But you all need to understand that lies that are happening globally affect us all because we are all one, okay? You don't get to choose when we're one and when we're not. We're all one. We're all tied together. So a lie happening to people in another country is directly impacting us. You may not understand how it is, but trust me, it impacts us. So lies definitely have an impact. But anyways, I've been following the Macron and the Macron marriage debacle, and it's deep, and they are saying it's a conspiracy. I don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? But we must understand that when we have people in positions of authority and control that have been manipulated, and that then they're controlled, right? And that control influences how things happen for the people. And we must understand that the people together are much more powerful than these authority figures. However, because so many people lack this inner congruence, this inner strength, and they do not have these difficult conversations. So we're here to have difficult discussions. We're here to challenge our old beliefs. We're here to understand, how are we all one? Who am I? You know, if you're not asking those questions, then you're missing out. Oh, Matt is saying Macron is evil. You know what? First of all, I want to applaud you, Matt, because a lot of people, and I will say myself included, was in denial about how evil exists. And I've talked about it on this channel primarily because I didn't want to believe that evil existed the way it does. But the moment you are willing to see and be aware that evil exists, now you can be more free. You cannot be free when you are in denial. And denial keeps the truth from coming up. So what makes somebody evil? Wrongdoings. What makes somebody evil? Disconnection from God. Let's just get to the heart of the matter. So anybody that is disconnected from God has lost their way. So even these evil people, even these demonic energies, they've lost their way because everything has a connection. And we're all one, so we got to be stronger within. So be willing to have those discussions of open discussions. Willingness to challenge your own ideas and beliefs. Don't worry about challenging somebody else's ideas and beliefs. Be willing to challenge your own. Like I have people that are saying, oh, Kiana, you're stubborn. Don't worry what I am. Focus on yourself. I'm not stubborn at all. I'm just clear. And just because I'm clear doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you. I can agree to disagree, but we're going to have a fiery discussion. And fiery does not mean I'm judging, right? I'm not judging others. We all have our own path. We must be willing to challenge our own beliefs. Don't wait for somebody else to challenge them. You challenge them. So that's, I've done 10 through 6. Now we're going to go to number 5. And we're answering the question, what can I do to increase inner strength? And number 5 is key. We need to have empathy and compassion for others. We need to have empathy and compassion for others and care genuinely what happens to others. Why do I come on here and talk to perfect strangers? Because I care. I care what happens to humanity. I care that people have a direct connection to God. I care that people are building inner strength because their inept ability to create inner strength impacts all of us. We're all in this together. Collective consciousness is real. The pain body is real. And as we become stronger within and build that inner congruence, have greater empathy and strength for others, we will thrive. But if we're floundering, if my brother and sisters are floundering, I care and I do what I can. That doesn't mean that I really feel like my job is to teach people to fish. Like, teach people how to clear their own energy field. Teach people how to understand when something's in their energy field. Teach people to understand how to make different kinds of decisions because we have been programmed and conditioned outside of that. So that's what I teach my clients all the time. And I've had clients that have made huge progress. And then I have clients that make huge progress and then they make a decision, they take a detour, and then they come back around. You know, we all have our paths, no judgment, but have empathy and compassion for others. Even those people who have wronged you, right? Trust me, there are some people that have done some crap. Okay. Matt is saying, let me see. Oh, hey, Salvo, good to see you. 99, good to see you. Jono says, my mom calls me one, and I tell her the CIA invented it every time. Well, Jono, when you're repeating things that others don't want to hear, it doesn't make them want to connect with you. So, you know, you don't have to be the bearer of all truths, you know? Just know that. But you might be true. Good to see you, Salvo. Oliver says, but unfortunately, there are lies that are said to us every day. This is true. If one individual firmly believes that they are stating is indeed the ultimate truth, but you disagree with it, what? Due to personal reasons, You think that's the ultimate truth for you? How does that play out? The truth, Oliver, is a frequency. It's not a fact. It's not an idea. It's a frequency. You're either in alignment to the frequency or you're not. You can get caught up in these ideas, these beliefs, these half-truths, these ways of being. Those are not the truth. The truth is a frequency. That's what I say. It's not about what people are saying is fact. A lot of people come on this channel and say, hey, what does the science say? I don't care, because the science is interpreted, right? Everything is an interpretation. We are interpreting, basing it on our perspective. Our perspective is directly correlated with our beliefs. And hey, Oliver, if you're not challenging your beliefs, then you're going to believe some things that are irrational, that are untrue. All of us. Not just about Oliver, but Oliver brought up the question, so I'm just saying Oliver, because I appreciate you, Oliver, being here, and that's a great question. So don't align with what you think. That is not the truth. Align to your heart. You'll get closer to the truth frequency. And we really need to get out of the ego mind. I talk about that a lot, but I don't go into detail into these sessions because the ego will defend the lies all the time. I only do ego work with clients who are totally, fully committed to their consciousness evolution. Otherwise, they'll just be mad. And when you're consciously wanting to grow and evolve, you're not going to be mad. You're going to want to know, what do I need to do to address this? I'm doing pretty good on my water, y'all. We're number 5, empathy and compassion and genuinely caring for those of others. Matt is saying denial keeps the truth from coming out. Wow, that's the truth. It really does. But people that are in denial, Matt, they don't know they're in denial. I didn't know I was in denial until I started challenging myself, like, where am I in denial? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to see that there's evil. That's one place I was in denial. I didn't want to see what evil looked like, and then I asked, and I was shown. And let me tell you, that's a scary question. When you see the spirit of people, and I have a friend that sees spirits very easily, and when you see the spirit of people, and you ask to see the truth, you will be shown. And let me tell you, the people that look pretty, wearing the nice clothes, perfect teeth, fake boobs, eyes, everything, there's something going on spiritually. I'm just going to say that when you ask to see the truth about who people are, you will be shown, and it at first will be like, and then of course I've trained to not be scared, because now I see, and I want to see clearly. I want to see the truth about who people are. I had a client message me today something that they were very sad about. And I was like, I know the truth of who you are. I see your heart. I know that what they're saying is a lie. Don't believe the lies. And that's what I'll say to you all. Do not believe the lies. So many of you have believed the lies that you told about yourself, that you told about your others, that you've even told about your parents. Lies do not allow you to align to the truth. The best way to align to the truth is to go to your heart. So now we're going on. Number 4, y'all. Number 4 on how I can build inner strength. This one is not my timing, divine right timing. Now, the divine will come into your world when you invite it in faster. Doesn't mean that the divine's not at play, but not my will, but God's will. Not my will, but divine will. That is number 4. So you get out of this idea that you want things to be a particular way by this time, which is very much the third dimensional way of thinking, which is let's do outcomes and results, which, you know what? I saw this thing on Telegram. I don't know if you guys are on Telegram, but I couldn't forward it here. But it really was this interview, interviewing all these therapists and psychologists, and they were asking how many patients have they cured. And all the therapists laughed because they don't cure anybody. They're not there to cure anybody. They're not even there to direct them to a cure. They know that they have been indoctrinated to just provide a service. What is the service they're providing? That depends on the consultant or the therapist or psychologist. But let me tell you, they know they're not providing a cure. The first thing you'll see on my LinkedIn is results. How can I promise results? Because that's what consciousness delivers, is results. Now, are they tangible results? You'll have to be the judge, but I get clients messaging me, even YouTubers, even subscribers here. I got like 3 or 4 messages in the last week about people who followed a recommendation. I don't even remember the conversation, but they asked a question, I provided a recommendation, and they implemented it. They consciously took action and got results. They didn't pay me anything. Now, clients that come to me, they have an experience and you'll see it. Okay. Matt, I'm not going to repeat that. But yes, everybody has opinions. Jono says, I try and show I deeply care for people, but it backfires sometimes. It can't backfire if you're not attached to the outcome. So you don't do good deeds, Jono, in hopes that people will recognize them. No, it can't backfire. You have to use discernment. Hello, India. Hi, culture. I was profit smell process from correcting logic launched by Spoiza. I don't know what you're saying there, culture. Hi, Salvo. Salvo is saying, some people think theories are truths, but don't know the meaning of a theory. Our educational system has been an injustice to humanity. I will say one of the best decisions and also the worst decisions, I would say, is my education. I would say that getting a master's degree got me my career that I was doing before I decided to go out publicly and be in service to humanity on a bigger scale, where I'm not just consulting to the elite or the big guys, the executives, but also like managers and workers. When I started doing that, my whole life changed. And what was I saying? I lost my track. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was going to say, so my education, my master's degree, my formal education and my ability to think critically got me through my master's. But I would say everything on the spiritual journey is really unlearning everything that you've been conditioned to believe and programmed, which are a lot of lies. So not everything, for everything that you've learned, there's maybe a little grain of truth and a lot of lies. And so now the work is to decipher what the truth is. The truth is a frequency that we align to. We align to it by knowing and embodying love. When we embody love, we can connect directly and know God. God is not a book. God is an experience that you have within yourself. So there you have it. Okay, that is number 4 on the top 10 list. Building inner strength, not my timing, divine right timing. Oliver is saying, what if we're both in the frequency of truth? And he's laughing, but what if you're really not and you think you are? What if your thoughts about being in the frequency of truth is really denial, that you're disconnected? There's that. And there's not different frequencies of truth. There's not different bands. Well, let me check on that. I do not believe that there are different bands of the frequency of truth. There is just one frequency of truth. So maybe even the fact that you're saying you're both in the truth frequency and have different resonances to truth, that is actually something that can happen, and that would mean you're out of sync with the truth, one of you or both of you. Who is humble enough to acknowledge that they're not in the truth is the one that is going to grow faster. Vishal says, hey, I have some jealousy. Tell me the cure. Love. Self-love. You got to love. Jealousy is disconnection, and it's a program to look outside the self for recognition. But I will also say that jealousy is also a signal that what you desire is actually in your field and a potential and a possibility for you. So either way, you're just resonating at the lower perspective of the frequency of which you're in. Hey, Clayton. Aw, thank you. Looking great. Thanks for having me back. Not sure if you read the past post, but if you didn't, I understand why. Oh, gosh, Clayton, I have to go back. Let me go. I'm going to scroll back. Clayton, where did you... Hi, Nicholas. Good to see you here. I missed a lot, it looks like. Okay, y'all. I'm just going to pause on number 4, not our timing, divine timing, and see where Clayton posted. Jono. The picture behind is from Thailand, and it's from an artist in a market. So somebody was asking about the picture. Oh, thank you, Matt, saying no spamming. Yeah, Jono's saying, I have been psychically attacked. I prefer to believe my brain is just slightly fired by spiritual awakening. Fried. First of all, spiritual awakening, the plasmic energy will be very difficult for people to tolerate if they're not aligned within their heart, okay? And it will have physical ramifications. But if you're being psychically attacked, that means that you have vulnerabilities in your field that allow that. So you've gone into agreement with it in some way, shape, or form. Okay. I'm still looking for that comment. Jono is saying, I feel disconnected still. I'm trying to connect to my higher self and can't even feel my soul. Yeah, so you're giving me data here, Jono, that what I said earlier about single soul occupancy is a thing. You need to clear some of that heavy infiltration you have in your field. That's part of why you're having a difficult time. You're probably not even connected to your higher self. You need to build a relationship with your higher self and God's self. So, Jono, you need to look for some assistance in getting rid of some of that stuff in your field. And go look up single soul occupancy. Okay, I don't know that I missed... Where did I miss it? Culture, Salvo, I agree with you 100% there. Clayton, Jono. Jono says, I'm interested in arranging a session. Okay. I'd love someone who could see right inside my soul. Well, your soul is a matrix, okay? So some people are not really understanding what their soul is. But a lot of people's souls have been fragmented. Aspects of them have been stolen. And a lot of people are not occupied by single soul occupancy. So create that direct relationship to God, Jono. Oh, Michelle is saying, I've had huge results with you. Please say more, Michelle. Let these folks know what a session is like. People don't understand until you have one. But thank you, Michelle, for saying that. I did not pay her to say that. Jonah says you deserve a bigger audience. Oh, thanks, Oliver. Oliver's telling everybody where they can book. I'm going to pin that. XYZ, hello. Okay, so how did I miss? Okay, so maybe whoever's comment I was looking for is gone. It's deleted. That's why I didn't answer it. Okay, y'all. So going to continue. Not my timing, but divine right timing. That was number 4. Number three, honestly, and this goes with Oliver's comment about truth. And we must honestly assess our progress. And we must do that regularly. We got to see, where am I not seeing? Where are my blind spots? Where do I not know? Where am I in denial? I've got to do a video just on like questions, because these questions open potentials, but they're not going to open potentials if you're not asking the question and willing to see. So not only do you have to be honest, you have to be willing to be honest to assess yourself, okay? You want to assess your personal integrity. Now, don't take offense to that. Your ego mind might take offense to that, but don't take offense to that, because a lot of you, us, are out of integrity and we don't know it until we do a personal, honest assessment. There was one video that I did last year, and after I got off the video, I was in communication with doing reflection, and I was just not digging deep enough. And that's not who I am. And that was not what I value. And it was one of my top values for the year, was to really dig deep. And anybody who's doing videos every single day with, I didn't have anybody following me at first. I think I had maybe 300 subscribers on here. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any regulars. I didn't have any mods. I didn't have anything. You got to dig deep and just be in integrity with your truth. Be in integrity with your values, regardless on what is showing up on the outside world. Eventually, the inner world creates the outer world. Not eventually, always. So if you're having some discord in what you're perceiving in your life, that is because it's coming from within. So we want to correct that. And that's what we do with energy psychology. We realign the patterns physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. How do we do that? I help people do that by assessing honestly. So sometimes a client will say, Kiana, I want to make more money, but they're not single soul occupancy. So you're not going to make more money when you're being siphoned energetically. That's just how it is. Now, some people are making lots of money and are totally possessed and have sold out. You all be the judge of who you think that is. See what's going on in the media. What do you think? We used to get lots of spam on Diddy. What do you think he was serving? Not God, not truth, not alignment, not integrity. So we have to be really interested and think critically. Who are the celebrities and why are they there? Why are we a society that is looking up to celebrities? What does that serve? What does that serve? It's not God. What is it serving? Anyway. Number 3 is being willing to honestly assess your progress. So challenge yourself to look at yourself. What are my blind spots? What am I seeing repeating all the time in my field? How can I change that? By the way, Salvo, I do want to thank you, because our conversation the other day about that trauma, I'm going to do a video about it next, and it's going to be the central nervous system, because when we are triggered in our environments, our central nervous system will kick off, and then it's difficult to see the learning. But when we are honestly assessing our progress, we can change. Okay. You don't have to be into the Diddy case, Salvo. You don't have to be. You just need to know this guy. You just need to see one thing. He's not a good man. That's it. You can see that. You can see that by how he walks, how he talks, how he's in ego. That's not somebody who's in integrity, period. And that's not judgment, that's fact. Now, you can align to another truth if you want. Okay, number 2. Let me see. I don't want to lose too much. Jonah says, okay, Jonah, I felt connected, but then I had a very heavy heartbreak. I had to opt out of an out-of-body experience. There you go. You're giving more data to what I suspected, and I've never met you. Yeah, look into it. Michelle says, I've come from so much heaviness and sadness and trauma to being at peace. I would never have done that. Good job. That's beautiful. I'm just going to take a picture of that, Michelle, because I want to save that. Sometimes we forget that we can move from heaviness to peace with the support of others. Salvo, you don't need to be into that Diddy case at all. In fact, it's a distraction. So you just keep doing you. You're amazing. Okay, so number 2 of what you can do to increase inner strength. Oh, let me see what the poll is saying. We only have 32, but 56% of you all have a process for developing inner strength. Awesome. Then I'm speaking to my people here. Because any one of these 10, if you do all of them, you do some of them, will make you stronger. So number 10 is intentional. You must be intentional. Why did I create my intention setting to synchronicity program that's free here on YouTube? Because most people don't understand the importance to establishing intention every day in everything that they do. It's a practice. You must intentionally align your behaviors and actions with your values. If you don't know what your values are and you're not clear on your values because you're not single soul occupancy, that's going to be very challenging to do. So how do you do this? You must start to get very clear on what it is that you value. And once you have the clarity of your values, you must reflect and look back and say, okay, where am I misaligned? Where are my blind spots? What am I not doing? Where do I need to up my game? And you address that and you align to your personal values every single day. There should not be a day that goes by that you're not operating out of your integrity. Now, I will tell you this. I have worked with some executives who I cannot name that operated a budget of billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. Hold on one second. This executive was being manipulated by another executive, and they were both my clients, okay? Both of them. And I said to the one client that was being manipulated, she knew they were being manipulated. She did not want to do what this person was asking her, but they kind of had seniority, and they were the boss, if you will. She did what they said, and she lost her entire career. And my advice to her was, whatever you do, before I fired her as a client, don't go out of integrity. She went out of integrity. First of all, that was our last session because I said you can't come back here until you're in alignment with your personal integrity. Because if you're unethical in one area, you're going to be unethical in other areas. And that's not how I work. You can't build inner strength that way. You can't build results from being out of integrity. You can't. It will be a facade. You will be a shell of what success looks like. That's why there's so many rich people that are freaking miserable. Don't be one of them. Don't be one of them. You want to be happy? Be in alignment with your values. So intentionally align. Use that class, that program that I have here to align with your intentionally aligned every single day. And the bonus one is really where you're going to amplify your energy field, okay? You will amplify it. So don't skip it because it's a practice. You've got to do it every day. Okay, number 1, I'm going to take a sip. For those of you who are joining me, I'm so dehydrated. I'm in California. We have 0 moisture in the hair. 0. My skin is dry and chapped, so I'm drinking all this water. I'm almost there. Before I get off of this live. So let me see what questions you guys are saying here. Salvo says, thank you, and also thank you for explaining and walking me through the experience. Thank you, Salvo. Hello, Sabra, I think I say your name wrong all the time. Sarab. I hope that's the right name. Thank you for being here. We know you're from India. We know that. Culture says, is this inspired by some? I don't know who that person is. I don't know, Culture. No, I will have to say, no, this was inspired from my morning meditation. And it was inspired by the question, how can I increase my own inner strength? And I thought, well, this is for me. It's for my people. This is for anybody who wants to build inner strength. So no, it wasn't inspired from anybody, but I will tell you, if it's in the collective field, that means there's more than one person that's going to be directing people to build inner strength. Because when you have inner strength, you cannot be in fear. When you're in strength, you cannot allow fear to direct your life, okay? So, okay. You guys are ready for number one? I got to take another sip. Okay. Number one, to increase inner strength is, it's not a groundbreaker. It's so easy, but do you know how many people don't do it? It's to reflect. It is so important to reflect. I did the cold plunge this morning, Matt, 5 minutes. I did 5 minutes this morning just to get the swelling because I have swelling in my face. I even have bags. I don't normally have bags. My face was swelled because there's also toxins in the air, and I am very, very sensitive to elements. So, you know, one of the benefits of being a healer is that you have sensitivities. I'm extra sensitive. Okay, so hey, Martin, good to see you. Number one is to reflect every single day, every day. If you can't do it in the moment, some of you have very busy lives. Matt, you're a very busy man. You are like a hustler, right? You are on the move. Sometimes you don't have time to reflect in the moment. Make a note on your phone. Such and such triggered me about this. I need to go back and reflect. What does that mean to me? Where am I weak that I'm getting triggered with this? Because when you've done your ego work, you're not going to be triggered by everything. When you are hyper in the ego, you're going to be triggered a lot. When you have a lot of wounds that have not been tended to, you will be triggered a lot. You will be bothered by your significant other a lot. Anytime that you are not addressing your own triggers, you're going to have issues, and they're going to be challenges, and they're going to be unfortunate. But if you take it upon yourself, if you do nothing else, if you don't do any of the top 10, you do nothing else but reflect every single day, where are my blind spots? Where do I need to grow stronger in my connection to God? How do I need to be more in the frequency of love? If you do nothing else but ask those questions, you will be solid. You are solid. But the truth is that life has triggers, right? People do things happen when we have not done all of our healing, and we need to address that. We can't do it when we're busy at work. It needs space. Give yourself space in your day to reflect. I am going to be incorporating one of my favorite things this week. I love to do my silent tea ceremonies. It's one of my favorite hobbies that I've started last year. And this year I'm doing it every day this week. Not this year, but this week. I'm doing my silent tea ceremony. I'm doing a shorter version every day just to be in presence, just to be in reflection. So it's important to reflect. Cody Crybaby says, Kiana, all my love, you are doing God's work truly. My question is, how do you cope when you know you have sinned by lust? Well, I know lust is a sin. Okay, so let's just be really clear, Cody. You are a child of God, right? But if you have not built the house of Christ, if you have not built the good aspects, you will be vulnerable to the house of the demonics, which lust is one of those. So most people who are struggling with lustful thoughts are focused on how to stop that. The best way to stop that is to focus on building the house of Christ. That means connecting to your heart. That means being in alignment with purity. How are you aligned to purity, Cody? You can align to purity. How are you doing it? What are your actions? No, you're not going to hell. You have an opportunity to change. And you're here listening to and seeing and knowing the truth. That means, Cody, you are in alignment. But what you haven't done is taken your awareness and put in conscious action. So ask yourself, Cody, every single day, how am I aligning to purity? That is building the house of Christ, okay? Christ consciousness. We're not talking about Bible stuff. We're talking about Christ consciousness, which is an energy. And as you align to purity, you will align to that consciousness, and it will lift you up out of those lower domains that you're speaking of here. Okay? You can. You could do this, Cody. We're here for you. Congratulations. Cody, okay. Upcycled, hello. There's one person in my family who gets the better of me every time. I just don't know how to deal with that. Ooh, tell me more. I mean, now you can get excited because number one, Upcycled, you got awareness. Now, when you have awareness, we need to do something with it. So if you're willing, Upcycled, share with us, what is it about them? Let's get to the root. Which, Upcycled, thank you for asking. I'm going to wait for your response. And I'm going to also say, y'all, I am going to do a program. It's going to be at a very discounted rate, and it's going to be for a small group. And I'm going to do soul conscious program. So Upcycled, this one would be for you. And then you can learn and raise up with your awareness with a small group of other conscious beings, and things move faster, and you are more supported, and you will get to the root of the issue immediately. Because you're saying it's family, that means it's soul aligned. That means you have a soul lesson with that person. So what is that soul lesson? And I bet you there's going to be more than one. So that's what I'm going to be helping everybody with who is interested in that program. That soul consciousness program, I think I'm going to do it maybe February timeframe. It sounds like, February, love, Valentine's. Nothing is more like love than loving your soul and being fully in alignment with your soul consciousness, because that's how we expand more rapidly, right? Because our soul matrix is connected to what? God consciousness. Always, totally, that's oneness, okay? So we just want to connect more and more and more to oneness. Every aspect of ourselves. So hopefully, we'll see what you say down there. Spinoza wrote about ancient information. Oh, okay. I don't see a mind I prefer. Good for you. Well, Raw One, you're more advanced than the average person, right? So I'm always reminded that I'm not average. Last night we were at dinner and we were talking to the owner of the restaurant, and he was saying how people eat, because I always eat vegetables. I love vegetables. They're so yummy. I love them. I like to have primarily of all my meal is a vegetable, if not all of my meal. And I just love them. And I always look for them on the menu. But there's a restaurant that we go to, and their pickings for vegetables are always kind of weak. And when we were talking to them last night, he said the average customer does not eat vegetables during the winter months. And I thought, I'm definitely not average. In fact, when I get off this call, guess what I'm going to have? Or off this video, I'm going to have cabbage soup. That's my new thing right now. I'm loving breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm eating this cabbage soup. I absolutely love cabbage. And I love this soup. So there you go. Raw one, you are not average. All right. Oh, I gave you goosebumps. All right. I'm on fire. Hey, Eric. Hello. We missed you the other day. Good to see you, Eric. Matt, am I on fire today? Okay. So I want to talk about reflection because I talk about what I do. I just want you to know that I create a document and I use this document every month. And every day I write notes in there. I put my notes of my awarenesses. I put questions because I love high quality questions. Not only do I like to ask them, I like to answer them for myself. I have found that questions are ways that we open potentials in very simple, easy ways. So I ask questions. I answer my own questions. I do want to do a video just on questions, because I think powerful questions that are open-ended. I think I actually may do a book. Maybe I'm gonna write this down because I forget. I think I'm gonna do a book of questions. Because I think a book of questions is needed. And I like to ask questions, but they're so limited. Maybe I'll put my questions on my, I haven't blogged in a long time. Because when COVID happened, I've lost so many people, but when COVID happened, everybody became so information saturated, I stopped doing so much. Anyways, let me see what you have to say here. Culture, upcycled. I live in a joint family, so it's my father-in-law, so-called head of the family. Well, so one of your soul lessons is about respect. And you could see in what you're writing that there's not a respect for him. So let me just say, we can learn to respect people for just being human. We don't have to go into agreement with them, but we can respect people that they're having their own human experience. And that level of respect is a starting point, okay? I have a good relationship with my father. It's more of a friendship, huge difference between the two, as there should be. There should be a difference. You're not supposed to be friends with your parents. Okay, you can be. Jono, I'm working on loving myself more. I really miss the one who brought out the best in me and showing me love. Jono, I don't know you at all. You're not a client of mine. You're just a regular here on YouTube. But I'm a truth speaker. But you talk a lot about the past. The past does not define your future. So let it go. Just because you haven't healed your traumas does not mean you need to keep rehashing the past situations. You don't learn to heal your traumas by rehashing the memories. That's traditional therapy, which, by the way, I told you about that video. How many therapists have cured their clients? Every single one of them on the video said 0. Oh, Matt, you don't like cabbage or Brussels sprouts? I don't like Brussels sprouts, but cabbage I love. I've always loved cabbage. In India, I think it's more that they don't accept, because I am the daughter-in-law, so basically everybody needs a villain in their lives, so I am the person they can blame everything on. Well, upcycled, that is the victimizer mentality that you've accepted and gone into agreement with and taken on. So that would be another soul lesson, number 1. So that's 2 that we've identified just from your comments here. And you can go out of agreement with what you've gone into agreement with. So don't accept that you're going to be the villain. Don't accept that, because you basically align with that frequency. And so then it's called a self-fulfilling prophecy is what they say, but it's actually a frequency. So the languaging doesn't really work with what people say, but anyhow. Upcycled says, these days I'm making broccoli and carrot soup. I don't really like carrots, although I like carrots in my cabbage soup. And broccoli soup I like, but I have not found one that tastes good that doesn't have milk in it, because I don't eat milk. I don't drink milk or cream unless it's in a cake, and then I might have a piece. That's the truth. Okay, Cody says, well, I have vegetables 365 days a year, or else my mom's going to kick my butt. But all the seriousness, yes, I love veggies too. I love veggies. I was surprised when the owner said that the average person does not order vegetables on the menu. Raw One says, respecting people is also an essential part to avoid becoming a I don't know this word, I'm going to have to look this one up. You're going to have to share misanthrope. I mean, I can sense what it means, but I don't know the word. But good language. I'm going to have to learn a new language. Upcycled, see? I love asparagus, and yes, I like spinach, but I don't like them in my soup. So there we have it. All right, you all, I don't know how we got onto veggies, but every day reflect. So the top 10 lists, what can I do to increase my inner strength? If you practice all of these on this list, you are going to turn your entire life around. If you practice 10%, 20%, 30% of what's on this list, you're going to make progress. The key is progress, you folks. We're not about making quantum shifts unless we can hold the frequency. We won't be able to hold the frequency of a quantum shift unless we have congruence within and we have that pure connection with God. Okay? That's why lottery winners do not hold their money, is because they are not fully congruent and therefore they can't hold that frequency. Everything, money is a frequency. That's why they call it a currency. Our energy field's always running currents. What are patterns? Currents. What is energy psychology? It's shifting the patterns and frequencies physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay, Matt's saying, if I had to, okay. All right, y'all. That's it. That's the top 10. My name is Kiana Sage. I guide people to peace. Today's video was all about taking a time out from the trauma series, which we are going on to video number 5 this next week. And it's going to be good. And I want to thank Salvo for his, hey, nobody. Good to see you. Oh, thanks, Matt. I'm so glad you are here. I'm so glad you're back. So, Matt, since you're so busy, use your notes on your thing to make notes on what you need to reflect on. God bless you all. Everybody, be in the alignment to the truth frequency. Connect to your truth. Embody love. Embody God consciousness. Know and understand that your deep connection will create inner strength like none before. So join me for the series on trauma. If you're new here, put on the notifications. I come on here and do these lives as I feel driven, or as I feel guided is more of the word. All right, y'all, see you. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Oliver. Thanks, Jono. You guys have a great day. See you soon. Thank you, Nobody and Eric. Everybody, see you this week.